Alright, this is part two of the Three Stooges flying on whatever day it was. And I'm letting Paul and Jamie gonna fly a little bit. Paul had never seen this drone. I ain't sure how much Jamie had seen it, but he's seen a little bit of it. So I'm pretty sure this is Paul at the control now. And I told him to fly it like he stole it. Because I wrote this thing off when the camera caught fire. I didn't figure I got it off in time for it to not do some internal damage, but evidently I did. And I had another malfunction junction with it later on, and I wrote it off then too, because due to operator error that time. But I got it back and didn't have no trouble. Y'all didn't see that one. But Paul's flying it, and I did. I told him to just fly it like he wanted to, do what he wanted to. Don't try to crash it. But if he did crash it, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't no big deal. I already had my eye on another one. So he's sitting down there studying the fire, trying to figure out what all he can see and can't see. And he's testing it. You know, I told him, I said, be as violent as you want to be with the sticks. And I want to see what the camera looks like, because it moved a little bit, but that gimbal system on this thing is working as good as it ever worked, better than it ever worked. But it's still got a little vibration or something in it that I ain't sure what it is. I got a prop balancer now, and I'm going to see if I can balance these little bitty daggone props and see if that has anything to do with it. But I don't think it has. But him and Jamie both commented on how quick it responded. It's not the fastest drone in the world, but it's not slow either. But it responds when you touch a stick. It responds really quick. You know, for what it is. It's not a DJI and it's not a unique, but for what it is, it's a pretty quick little drone, and it does a good job, I think. And I don't remember when Paul handed it over to Jamie, but somewhere along in a little bit he hands it over to Jamie, and Jamie does drive it like he stole it, or flies it like he stole it, because I wanted him to. I said, you scared to do anything with yours. If you tear mine up, it ain't no big deal. I'll buy another, and I ain't scared to. Hell, it ain't nothing but plastic. Don't count. And besides, I had two brand new batteries, and I wanted to cycle them one time, and I done cycle one, and this is another new battery, and I wanted to cycle it part of the way through anyhow, because lipos are great, but they don't start out the best of shape, sitting for however long they sit in storage mode, and then when you get them, they do real good when you charge them up, but it takes a few cycles to get them boys, broke in good. I don't know how many it takes, depending on the quality of the battery. Some of them break in real fast, and some of them don't. But I think Jamie's got it now. I can't tell. I'm not going to zoom in. It's just too much trouble. I'm sitting here real comfortable, and I could zoom in but yeah, I'm pretty sure Jamie's got it now. And I told him just do what he wants to do. He just fly it like he wants to. I think this is a Thursday before Labor Day weekend. And I wasn't in a very good mood nohow. Miss Bly's laying up there in the bed snoozing. She's in about as bad a mood as I am. Except she ain't got it in her to be as mean as I can be. I used to tell people I ain't mean, but the mean don't mess with me. Some of them did too. I got the scars to prove it. I know who they are. I don't mess with them no more either. Somebody says he ain't never had his ass whipped. He ain't never been in too many fights. Or he's lucky as shit won. Because some people sneak up behind you if you ain't careful. And the good Lord didn't put no eyes in the back of my head. And my hearing ain't from crap. So I have to keep my back to the wall. Jamie wanted to land. I know what he's doing. He's going to land with it facing toward him. He's going to do that. And he ain't going to hit the takeoff pad or nothing. But he does land that thing upright, which is all I could ask of this thing, because half time I land it, I can't land it upright. But it's got that one button on it, and you get it that close to the ground, and if you get it stopped, just say he's wanting to hunt. If it just stop right there and hit the button, it'll land on its own. It just right down. It ain't going to tip over nothing. And see, now he's hunting that daggone pad, and that ain't working. I done went through 2 or 3 props doing that, trying to land that thing, and he done it. He got it landed right side up. And if he'd had a cigarette, if he smoked, he'd take him a smoke right now. And Paul's got it now. Paul just fired it back up. Paul's got it. And he's saying that I meant what I was telling him when I told Jamie to fly it like he stole it. I told Paul, I said, you do the same thing. And I think Paul wanted to jerk it around. I wanted him to jerk it around. I want to see what that gimbal is doing. And part of that shaking while ago with Jamie flying it is Jamie's thumb. He's got a thumb that twitches worse than mine does. But most of it's in the gimbal mount, and it's the way that thing's mounted ain't much to it no how. It does fine, but this one fits a little loose. All that a little bit of shaking right there ain't supposed to be there. It's not bad, but it ain't supposed to be there. And see, Paul stomped the gas just now and took off, and the gimbal done it. The gimbal absorbed it. I mean, it's supposed to, and it did. And he'll be doing some jerking side to side, and it'll mostly absorb that too. As hard as he was slamming them sticks, like I told him to, I don't see how it done as good as it did. My buddy Radio Bill just got back from a fishing trip. Him and Chip went on a fishing trip, and Chip took some videos. And Bill is like I am. Bill ain't never had a moment when his mouth wasn't running. But he was quiet when that camera was on him. He didn't want to say nothing. I know what to do. If I want Bill to be quiet, I'll point a camera at him. I'm telling Paul, come on in with it. And he did too. That thing was going pretty fast. Paul said, "Ooh, Lord." That's what I wanted. Now I'm telling it to rock it. Go back, forth, back and forth. And see, the gimbal is absorbing most of that, and he's violent. Paul's being violent. I told him to be violent. I'm watching the camera. The camera is staying fairly level. All that jerking back and forth, which is what I was wanting to see. It's a good little drone. I like it. I got something down the hall. It come in one of them beer cooler things. Looks sort of like it belongs to Miss Bly. Now I'll give it to her. I don't remember what that thing is, but we ain't got it out of the box yet. And Paul decided he's gonna land. I think he's gonna land sometime in a few minutes or seconds or whatever. And it ain't easy landing when you first start out. It ain't easy landing with that thing pointed at you because your directions is wrong. And I'm absolutely amazed that Jamie didn't tear at least 2 or 3 props off of it a while ago. And Paul don't want to crash it on the landing, but if he ain't careful, that's what he's gonna do. So he turns it around, which is what I do. I mean, I turn it around. I ain't ashamed to say it. I land the thing better with it turned around, butt toward me. And Paul's gonna try to hit the pad, but I told him not to worry about the pad. Just get the drone stable and hit that button and let it land. And there was some grass. He cut some grass for me. All right, he got it down. So y'all take care. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. Y'all have fun, play safe, and remember to always endeavor to persevere.